Some mistakes are not accidents. They are choices. Choices that will haunt us forever. The silence that follows feels heavy. Like a confession waiting to be heard, the screen stays dark for a moment. A single heartbeat begins to play, deep and slow, almost like a drum. Each beat grows louder, pulling the audience closer into the world of secrets and guilt. Suddenly, faint golden lights flicker street lamps in the distance, blurred by falling rain. The camera pans across empty streets at night, wet asphalt reflecting broken pieces of neon. As though the world itself is fractured, the sound of rain becomes sharper, and in the mist we see the outline of two figures walking close, almost touching but never holding hands. Their shadows stretch long and twisted across the pavement. A voice, steady but fragile, begins to speak. We thought love would set us free. But freedom came with a price. The camera lingers on their footsteps, careful and hesitant. A woman's shoes stop suddenly, her body turning slightly toward the man, but her face is never revealed. Instead, the audience sees her trembling hand clutching her coat tightly, as if hiding something deeper than cold. The man exhales sharply, fog escaping into the night. His hand hovers near hers but pulls back, leaving distance where desire once burned. The rain intensifies, and with it, the soundtrack swells. Strings whisper a melody of longing and tension, almost like a love song buried under sorrow. The scene cuts quickly to fragments, a close-up of water dripping from a window pane, a hand gripping a steering wheel too tightly, a door closing with a quiet click. Each shot adds weight, building unease as if every detail hides a secret. The narration returns, this time darker. We told ourselves it was fate, that what we had was pure. But fate doesn't forgive. And purity doesn't survive lies. The visuals follow the voice. A pair of keys falling onto the floor in slow motion. A wine glass tipped over, red liquid crawling across the table like spilled blood. A woman's silhouette leans against the wall, her head tilted back in silent despair. The man sits alone in his car, the dashboard lights painting his face in fragments of blue and red. Like guilt itself is chasing him. The camera pulls back, letting the audience feel distance. The lovers remain faceless, their emotions told through movements, gestures, and shadows. This facelessness creates mystery. Who are they, and what have they done? The audience is not given answers, only questions. The sound design sharpens. Rain turns into thunder. The heartbeat quickens, matching the rising storm. The camera shows a flash of lightning, briefly illuminating the empty space between the two figures. For a second, their silhouettes almost touch. For a second, the world almost forgives them. But then darkness returns, a whisper cuts through the noise, trembling yet final. This is not just love. This is our fault. The screen fades to black, leaving only the echo of the heartbeat. The audience is left suspended in silence, caught between curiosity and dread. Waiting for what comes next, the sound of rain fades, replaced by the faint ticking of a clock. Each tick is sharp, echoing in an empty room, reminding us of time slipping away. The camera pans slowly across a dimly lit apartment. A single lamp flickers. Books are scattered on the floor. A wine bottle rests on its side, its shadow stretching unnaturally long against the wall. The lens stops at a detail, a woman's hand brushing against the glass of a window, leaving faint streaks of condensation. She doesn't move for a long moment, as if frozen in hesitation. Outside, the city hums with life, but inside, everything feels trapped, silent, waiting to break. A man's figure enters the frame, seen only from the back. His shoulders are tense, his movements restless. He runs his hand through his hair, pacing like a prisoner in his own mind. His reflection appears faintly in the window, standing just behind the woman. They are close, but not touching. The reflection is fractured by raindrops, as though even the glass cannot hold them together. A deep voiceover whispers, "Some loves are never meant to be seen in the light." The woman exhales, her breath fogging the glass, her fingers trembling against it. She finally pulls away, her silhouette moving toward him. They pause in front of each other, bodies near enough to feel heat, far enough to feel absence. A hand rises, hesitant, almost shaking, then stops short of reaching the other. The screen cuts abruptly to another figure. A man stands in the hallway, his shoes wet from the rain, his keys dangling loosely in his hand. He has just returned home, but the weight in his posture tells another story. His shadow stretches down the hall, longer than him, darker than him, like something he cannot escape. He hears faint whispers behind the door. His breathing grows heavy, but he doesn't open it. Not yet, the narration returns, now layered with sorrow. Every secret begins with silence. But silence never lasts. The camera cuts back and forth, the woman twisting the ring on her finger. The restless man pressing his palms against his temples. The figure in the hallway, his keys slipping slowly from his grip. The tension tightens. Every frame holding a question the audience cannot yet answer. Who belongs to whom? Who is guilty and who is betrayed? Suddenly, the sound of a piano key strikes sharp, lonely. It echoes into the darkness as the scene shifts to fragmented details, a crumpled letter thrown into the trash. A close-up of lips whispering, but the words muted. A cell phone screen lighting up in the night, only to be turned face down quickly. The voiceover returns, heavier now. We thought no one would know. We thought we could hide in the shadows. But shadows cannot protect us forever. The woman appears again, but this time, she is seen sitting alone at a table, her hand hovering above her phone. She types a message, deletes it, types again, deletes again. Her breathing is uneven. She finally sets the phone down and covers her face with both hands. Meanwhile, the restless man is shown driving. The city lights blur past his windshield. But his gaze is not on the road, it's somewhere else, lost in thought, consumed by guilt. His grip on the steering wheel is tight, his knuckles pale under the dim glow of dashboard lights. The hallway figure finally turns the handle of the door. The sound is slow, dragging, almost unbearable. The woman's head rises suddenly, her body stiffening. The restless man freezes in the room. Time stops. The door creaks open halfway, then the screen cuts to black before the audience can see more. The silence is broken by a whisper, soft and trembling. If love is betrayal, then betrayal is our fault. The ticking clock returns, louder this time, relentless. Each second feels like judgment. The section ends with one haunting image. The three shadows overlapping on the floor, three lives entangled, three choices colliding. The camera pulls back, leaving only the sound of the clock and the unanswered questions it carries. Asterisk. The screen erupts with the sound of a door slamming shut. Silence follows, sharp and suffocating, as if the world itself has stopped breathing. Then footsteps. Heavy, uneven, echoing down a narrow hallway. The camera moves like a shadow behind them, never showing the face. Only the rigid outline of a body weighed down by anger and fear. Cut to black. A heartbeat starts again faster than before. This time, it's not steady, it's frantic. The sound grows louder with every cut, a wine glass crashing to the floor. A hand gripping a bedsheet tightly. A car engine roaring to life in the rain. The voiceover returns, but now the tone is strained, breathless, desperate. Love is fire. It warms, but it also burns. And when it burns, it leaves nothing but ash. The music intensifies, strings scraping, drums pounding, each note like an alarm. The visuals match the rhythm, a flurry of fragmented moments, fast and raw. A woman's silhouette turning quickly as though caught. A man's hand pressing against a locked door. A phone screen lighting up in the dark with a single word, where? The storm outside rages louder, rain lashing against windows, thunder rolling through the city. The faceless figures move like ghosts, restless and cornered. The woman leans against the bathroom sink, water dripping from her hands as she stares at her own reflection blurred, fractured by a cracked mirror. Her breath comes out in shaky bursts. She whispers something inaudible, then covers her mouth to silence herself, cut sharply to the man driving. His car races through empty streets, headlights slicing through the darkness. His phone vibrates on the seat beside him. He glances at it, hesitates, but doesn't pick it up. His knuckles tighten on the wheel as his car speeds through a red light. The voiceover deepens. Heavier than ever, we told ourselves it was love. But love built on lies. Cannot survive the truth? The hallway figure reappears. This time his hand is shown gripping something metallic, keys still wet from the rain. His breathing grows harsher. His shadow expands on the wall as he steps into the room. Inside, silence. Two people stand frozen, their outlines trembling, their bodies stiff like statues caught in guilt. Suddenly, a sound cuts through the faint buzz of a phone left on the table. The camera zooms in. A new message glows on the screen. Just 2 words, "It's over." The room explodes with motion. The woman's hand darts forward, flipping the phone face down. The restless man steps back, colliding with the wall. The figure in the doorway doesn't move, but the air grows heavier with each passing second. The music swells higher, faster, chaotic. Every beat is matched with a cut, a fist slamming against the table, a tear falling silently onto a letter. A car screeching to a stop in the middle of the night. 2 hands brushing, then violently pulling apart. The narration rises above the storm. Desire was our secret. Guilt was our prison, and now? The truth is our punishment. The screen flashes with fragments of confrontation. A man shouting, but his words are muted. A woman turning her face away, hiding her tears. A door forced open. A shadow collapsing to the ground. The music drops suddenly into silence, just the sound of breathing, heavy and uneven. The screen lingers on a single, haunting image. 2 hands once intertwined, now separated by broken glass, scattered across the floor. One hand trembles, reaching out. The other pulls away, disappearing into darkness. The storm outside finally quiets, but the silence inside feels even louder. The heartbeat slows, heavy and final. The voiceover whispers one last time, filled with pain and regret. We thought our love was unbreakable, but love didn't break us. We broke ourselves. The screen fades to black. Only the sound of a faint sob remains, fading into nothing. The screen shatters with the sound of breaking glass, as if the world itself can no longer contain the weight of their secrets. A flash of lightning floods the room in white for a split second. Shadows collide violently across the walls, overlapping until they are indistinguishable. The music roars to life, drums like thunder, strings like screams, and underneath it all, the pounding heartbeat that has followed from the beginning. Faster now, almost desperate. The camera fragments reality into a flurry of moments, a hand grabbing another, forceful, trembling with both love and anger. A woman pulling away, her silhouette framed in the doorway. A man falling to his knees, head lowered into his hands. Another figure stepping forward, his presence filling the room like judgment itself. The voiceover cuts through, sharp and broken. We thought passion would save us. But passion only destroys when it cannot be controlled. The cuts become faster, sharper, suffocating, car tires spinning in the rain. A letter torn in half. A pair of lips pressed together in one last desperate kiss. A scream muffled by thunder. The storm outside rages, but the storm inside is louder. The audience is shown fragments of confrontation without context, only consequences. A chair knocked over, a mirror breaking, footsteps running downstairs, headlights blinding the screen as a car accelerates into the night. The music reaches its peak, then drops suddenly into silence. A single image remains. 2 hands, bloodied from broken glass, still reaching for each other. They hover close, trembling but never touch. The silence is unbearable, almost louder than the chaos before it. A whisper breaks it, soft and haunting, spoken as though it's the last confession left to give. Our love was never ours alone. It was always borrowed. And in the end, it was our fault. The camera fades to slow-motion fragments, each one carrying the weight of memory. The woman standing alone in the rain, her face hidden in shadow. The restless man driving into darkness, his headlights swallowed by the storm. The figure left behind, staring at the empty space between them, his shadow longer than ever before. The screen cuts to black. For several seconds, nothing. No sound, no image. Just emptiness. Then a faint heartbeat returns, slower now. Final. The title explodes onto the screen in stark white letters. Culpa Nuestra, our fault. The words linger against the black, glowing faintly like a scar that refuses to fade. Below it in smaller text, The final stamp, official trailer only on Prime Video. The music swells one last time, not with chaos, but with a single sorrowful note, long and heavy, echoing into silence. The screen fades completely to black, leaving only the echo of the last whispered line, "This was never love. It was our fault."